Ladies and gentlemen, the Pies will not be offering another premiership player from 2023. It's time to talk all things black and white. Bit of sourness to this beautiful Saturday in Melbourne to kick off the Spring Carnival as well. We hear, firstly, that Mason Cox has been delisted or will not be offered. Well, he won't be offered another contract at the Pies and will seek other opportunities elsewhere. We spoke about that in the video literally like an hour ago. But very shortly after, we get a notification from Collingwood that also Tom Mitchell will not be playing for the Black and White next year, which is sad, of course. But as mentioned in the video, I wonder how many times I'm going to say that now. As mentioned in the video with Mason Cox, these are the types of players that are just going to need to move on and perhaps find another opportunity elsewhere to allow this younger crop or these younger crop of players to flourish. And Tom Mitchell is one of those players that will just have to go a different way. We'll talk about the players that this impacts and who we need a massive uprise from to ensure that you don't feel the absence of Tom Mitchell and Mason Cox. And granted, they only played a handful of games between each other throughout the course of the year, but you can't underestimate the professionalism that these guys exude that extends beyond what you see for 120 minutes on a weekend. Tom Mitchell is a consummate professional. This guy is a freak. He is so in love with the game, it's not even funny. So you lose that around the grounds now, and this is someone who wants to play on. So even if we were to talk about coaching opportunities, it's probably not something that's of Tom Mitchell's interest right now, given he's overcome so much adversity in the last 18 months with first it was plantar fasciitis, and then he had a stomach issue. I think it was the appendix. And then he had a relapse with a stress fracture in his foot early in the preseason after he was looking to really bounce back after coming back from that long layoff from 2024. And that was asked the question again, do you have the will and the desire to push through this injury hiccup again? And he did that. And he dominated the VFL. He really did. He dominated the VFL. He collected his typical numbers. And I'm sure players who, once again, we'll talk about in a moment, but players like Di Mattia definitely learnt a lot from. And then you see later in the year, Di Mattia getting the VFL B&F. I don't think that happens if Tom Mitchell isn't around him in the midfield to propel him into the next stage of his development for Di Mattia. So that's something we have to be mindful of when it comes to Tom Mitchell and his impact on the squad in 2025. I think Di Mattia would have learnt a lot. Ed Allen, hopefully, as well. So we say farewell, really. I mean, I'm just looking at this trade. I'll pop up on the screen. Tom Mitchell, coaches' votes in the 2023 grand final, came in at the end of 2022. We got, in a three-way trade, we got Tom Mitchell and Jacob Ryan. We outlaid Oliver Henry, which I believe that would have been directly for pick 25. We also gave 41 and 50. Picks not used. Maybe they were used for academy picks. Maybe someone can refresh my mind here. Geelong got Henry, and as I said, we got Ryan, which was pick 25, and his story is still to be written. And then Hawthorn gave Tom Mitchell for pick 41, pick 50, and Cooper Stevens from the Cats. And the rest is history, really. I mean, people might want to talk about, was the trade, what would you grade the trade, so to speak? I'd say that we got a flag from Tom Mitchell. So not solely due to, but he was a big part of that midfield in 2023. At the end of the day, you get a flag from it. How do you not grade that an A minus? Anything less than, like, what's the ultimate glory? And that's a flag at AFL level. And these older players who are saying farewell now, yes, it may or may not hurt us that we made these decisions to go for these older players, but in the end, all you want next to your name or in club history is a flag. So whether we win a flag in the next 5 years or not, there's clubs who haven't won flags for decades, right? So we accomplished our objective, and surely we will rest assured we will propel back into this phase of, and maybe we're still in it. Maybe we are. I'm not saying we're going to slide next year, but it is unclear where we're going to go next year. So these players like Tom Mitchell coming through, I think he would have been along with, who was from 2022? I mean, around that time, you had Lipinski, Frampton, Bobby Hill. So just masterclass work from list management. Graham Wright, who's now at Carlton, and ironically, they've probably had their best trade period in a very long time. So yeah, big shoes to fill for Leper and Shane O'Brien, but I trust that I feel like they've started well, and I trust they'll continue that trend. And they did that by not going batshit crazy over needing a player and paying overs for what they're truly worth, i.e. Simpkin. So that was a three-way trade. And then if we go to list management, we need to update this again. All right, Titch. Thank you for the memories. Premiership player. True professional. Let's go red. So that will bring these lads up. Bang, bang, bang. Slide them up. There we go. Okay, so that leaves us to where we thought we would be at this point in time. We're 38 on the main list. 31 on the primary list and 38 total. And this, now we just wait on what we see with Noah Howes and Lockie Sullivan. I'd like to see them both remain at the club, still relatively young, and Sullivan can play that role player if needed in the side and can complement the VFL. And then Noah Howes is much younger. Di Mattia, Ed Allen, in particular, over to you. There will no longer be a Tom Mitchell to come in and cover and assist Ned Long. It's going to be Ned Long, Nick Dacos, and everyone else. It's now up to you guys. This is Ed Allen's. He was drafted in 21, wasn't he? 22, 23, 24. This is his fourth year, whereas Ryan was drafted at the end of 22. So this is his third year. So these third and fourth years, I keep saying this in the off season. A lot of where we're going to be throughout the course of 2026 hinges on those types of players. So that's that. That is that. I'll cap this off by once again saying thank you, Tom Mitchell. Thank you, Mason Cox. You guys have written memories in my mind that will never be forgotten pertaining to 2023. I thank you all. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, go Pies.